Italians are known for style, and that goes all the way to the ground, to the kinds of tires they use on their cars. I'm talking about Pirelli, the world's #5 tire company, founded 140 years ago. We're in Milan today at Pirelli headquarters, and we're talking with the chairman and CEO of the company, Marco Tronchetti Provera. Welcome to INSEAD Knowledge.
Thank you.
Pirelli makes tires for individual cars, commercial vehicles, trucks, agriculture, everything that rolls practically.
Motorbike.
So how has your business been affected by the recession? What does it look like today?
The recession affected largely Southern Europe, and even Central Europe is not growing at an acceptable shape. So Europe is the core of the recession. Latin America is doing quite well. In US, we grew thanks to our new products and technologies. In Russia is a startup for us. And China and the Far East is doing well. And also the Middle East is doing quite well.
Where do you see the opportunity for growth in terms of the products or regions?
We see growth in Asia will continue. Russia is an opportunity because we just started our operations a few months ago. Europe will remain, even in 2013, not an easy market. We can compensate a bit because we are focused on premium, and the premium segment is doing better than the standard segment. So where there is more technology, there is still some growth. And then in US, we continue thanks to the actions we are taking inside. We have a new factory that is starting production.
Where is that in the US?
This is in Mexico, within the NAFTA. We have one factory, a very advanced factory in Rome, Georgia. And then we opened a new factory in Mexico last year. There will be growth in volumes this year, so we expect to succeed in our growth project in US.
Now, you've also, in terms of production facilities, you've also decided to expand your facilities in Romania. You've got 22 plants in 13 countries. So where else? Why Romania and where else?
Romania is good as location and is good cost-wise. So Romania is in Europe, and so to supply the rest of Europe from Romania and the eastern markets from Romania is good logistically, is good in cost-wise, and we will have in a few years the largest factory in Europe will be Romania.
And what kinds of new products have you been introducing? What might you be will you be making these new products in Romania as well?
We launched many new products in the last few years, and we have a project to double the innovation speed within the next 5 years. So we will launch 18 new platforms. We are launching 18 new platforms within 2011, 2015. In 5 years, we will do the double we did in 10 years in the decade before.
That's pretty aggressive and ambitious. I mean, what makes you? We're in a recession. How are you going to do that?
A recession is something that we have to face also, and I think it's the only way to overcome recession through innovation. Is only technology, innovation, new markets, the way to compete. So we have to profit of the global market, knowing the weaknesses and the strengths of a global market, but with a product that we have that is very much technologically advanced, I think we have room to improve.
Okay, let me ask a kind of a naive question, but give me an example of innovation. I mean, you make tires.
Yeah.
How can you be innovative in making
yes,
tires?
you say they are round and black, that's it. In fact.
They're not square, so.
But innovation is mostly related to the structure and to the materials. In the last decade, there has been an amazing improvement in raw materials. We use carbon fibers, Kevlar. The structure is more and more complex. The new compounds, mostly the synthetic rubber compounds, are evolving fast. the grip is changing dramatically. The easy example is the winter tires. A decade ago in Europe was a must to have chain on board around the Alps during the winter season. Today is a must to have chain on board or winter tires. The new legislation in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Northern Italy, starting in 2005 and 2006, they introduced as a mandatory to have winter tires because of the grip, because of the fact that you can go any place, even in a ski slope, with winter tires.
So you need several sets of tires, so that immediately increases your sales.
At least two, and this is something that is more and more known by the consumers, and they see the savings they have, the safety that comes from the right tires. So the tire is the only part of a car that touches the ground. If you don't have the right tires, you have really you can have serious problems. With the right tires on, you can have the right grip.
Right, so now Pirelli is indeed a pure play tire company. You're also active in green technologies and controlling exhaust, I guess diesel engine exhaust. How is this business performing, and what part?
But there is part of the business that is core for the company, because one of the main aspects of our activity is to improve the sustainability of our products, of our factories, of our suppliers. And we are in all indexes, international indexes, in the top ranking on sustainability. Part of this is INSEAD, as I mentioned, and part of the business is a business unit that takes care of environment, and where we produce filters for the car engines and truck engines to reduce the pollution, to reduce the MP10, the small powder. And so we believe that we have to grow together with the growth of sustainability of our products, and to stay within the environmental business makes us confident to continue the same way.
And in terms of the sexy part of the business is racing cars. Let's get serious here. Okay, does this make money, or is it kind of like the haute couture of the tire business?
I think it's the best way to advertise our products because of the mix between technology, the passion, and some glamour. So that's Formula One. It's something special, with hundreds of millions of viewers going around the world, in any place of the world, mostly in the area of the world that is growing. So the Formula One has 5 races in Far East.
And you're the main supplier,
and
too.
We are the only
supplier
yeah.
of Formula.
And so this is good also for technology, because we taste new compounds. So we taste in the worst possible condition. I mean, under stress, and this is also very much motivating our people. So people feel part of an adventure where our technology is at the center of this world.
And it does trickle down to the kinds of tires you just sell to the...
Yeah, of course, yes, because the compounds we develop for Formula One can be partly used also for the traditional tires.
Okay. And Pirelli also sponsors football clubs.
Yeah.
You make jerseys. You have an entire new fashion line, and this is kind of cool. I mean, what's behind all this, and where is it going?
We have to combine our products and the customers that use our products. So we are focused on the high end, on premium tires, where there is more technology and where there are the beauty of new cars coming into the market, like the top cars, where we have 50% of the market. So in the top cars like Ferrari, Maserati, Porsche, Bentley, McLaren, there Pirelli is the main supplier. And so the link with Formula One, the link with the Pirelli calendar, the fashion, is something that is in line with the products we supply.
Tell me about the Pirelli calendar. How did you get into that? And I mean, it's famous.
It's famous. It became famous. The adventure started 40 years ago, and it started in the UK. The management team decided to make a calendar. Was made for dealers, for truck drivers. And then they did a good job. After a few years, even the headquarters understood that could have been a good way to advertise the brand. And then the adventure started. And I'm taking care of the calendar since '92. So the last 20 years with the calendar have been very exciting.
How have you changed it?
I mean, the calendar has to change with the changes of the behavior of people around the world. So it's a mirror that shows the evolution of the society. And so we have to find through the eye of good photographers something that is attractive, but also that represents the society in which we live.
Well, you would be a good ambassador for that. You're very, very active in the society in which you live. You're on a number of boards, and I mean, you were also the former director of La Scala. I guess you gave them the opera company or the opera house that's out here. What responsibilities do you think a business leader has?
I think that to be the CEO of a company that is global means also to see the evolution of the world together with your company. You cannot watch the company without looking to the society. And only an harmonious growth can guarantee the growth of a company for decades and decades. Our company is under 40 years old. I love to be part of the story that will last a number of centuries. And the only way to imagine that our company can survive in the next decades is to have good products, good people, and to take care of the society and of the environment. So if we understand what is happening around us, we can make mistakes, but we cannot make errors that could destroy our company.
Now, that leads to another question about succession. I mean, you're in your early 60s. You must be thinking about who takes over, and your shoes would be very difficult to fill. So what are you thinking? Who's going to be the successor?
I think that there are two main points. One is to have a management team young and with the opportunity to show the professionality and the results. I have 10 people, partly in Italy, partly around the world, that are very good. They are succeeding in their missions. These guys will run the company for the next decades. Out of them, there will be one in the next years that will be able to be the one that will have more drive and more vision, at least. That a community that I'm part of will decide who is the one that could succeed me.
Now, you have a son yourself.
Yes, I have a son.
He's too young? He's not interested?
He is too young. He's doing a number of things. He has to choose his life. I don't see that the succession in family is something that is a must or something that has to be a burden for a son. I do prefer that the one that has the responsibility to run a company like this one is chosen by people that have the responsibility to choose them within the board of directors, and I can be with them the one that will choose the next CEO of Pirelli.
So you'll be sort of the eminence grise behind the next leader for a while?
No, I think that it's important that the next leader will stand on its own legs and will run the company without the need of someone behind him.
Now, in terms of other sort of tangential things about the company, you bought Dacia Holdings recently. What does that add to the portfolio, and is there anything else that you're looking to buy?
We bought it because there's a chain that covers 14% of the market in Sweden. It is a very well-run chain. We had a very small stake in a market that is an interesting market, where the winter tires are the most important products. They cover more than 40% of the market. And so to enter this market, the best way for us was to buy a network already well placed in the country with more than 100 points of sales, direct and indirect. And so we are satisfied for what we did.
Anything else that you're looking to buy or that you could expand
on? No, we don't have anything, if not something in Latin America, distribution network. We are more and more focused also on distribution, which is key for a company that is focused on premium. Because premium means new products, high tech, and good service. Good service, it's achievable through a good distribution network.
Now, you're about a €4 billion market cap, kind of mid-cap. What keeps Bridgestone and those other guys from pounding on the door trying to buy you?
I think that we have a shareholder structure that is very good. We enlarge our shareholder structure to a number of institutional investors that are global, coming from the US, from China. And so they are confident in our company, so they support the management, they support the company. I think that would be very costly for another player to buy Pirelli.
In your company, the slogan is, if I understand this correctly, power is nothing without control. How do you manifest that in your running of Pirelli?
I think that doing business means to take risk. Taking risk, you have never to take a risk that can be so high to put in danger the future of the company. So we have to be creative, we have to be innovative, we have to look forward, to be visionary, but we have to test ourselves in any possible challenge, but always remembering that a CEO has the responsibility of the future of the company, and has not to put at risk the future of the company.
Was there anything that you did in your past that you thought, oh my God, maybe this was too big a risk?
I did it. I did it, and I was able to come out of it. When I was running Telecom Italia, the company did perform very well, but was an ex-state-owned company, very difficult to be part of an entrepreneurial private company. And so luckily I left, and I was back in Pirelli.
Let's look a little broader here. The Euro debt crisis. How is that affecting you? It must be affecting you in some ways. And what's in your crystal ball, what do you see as the end of the Euro debt crisis, and when?
The end of the Euro crisis is an integration of Europe. There is not a way out of the crisis if not to be closer with the same rules, having an harmonization of the budget, having a central bank that will be a real central bank like in any other region of the world. So we have to leave something in order to get more. We talk a lot about sovereignty, but we already gave away sovereignty. The euro is already part of the life of the Europeans. The Commission is largely part of any new law that passed to the European Parliament. So we cannot be half integrated. We need a better integration, keeping the identities of the different countries, the culture of the different countries. But we have to grow together. We cannot grow alone. No one country can grow alone, not even Germany.
It also takes banks, and a lot of the banks right now are complaining about what Basel III will actually do to them and their ability to lend. And they say that companies now have all the money and they should be hiring and doing good. What do you say to that? And
I think that the first part of what you say is right. The second part is a simplification of a reality that is more complex. The first part is right, and Basel III is providing limits to the banks that in a time of recession could really affect dramatically the balance sheet of the banks. I think that something will be revised. We cannot have a different financial system compared to other regions of the world. The restrictions have to guarantee the transparency and to protect the investors and clients has not to compromise the future of the banks.
Let me just end by asking you, what do you think business schools like INSEAD should be teaching their students so that they can enter the new world that's all around us?
I think that Europe has a mission in this global world to combine the speed of the new world we live in with the deep culture that Europe has inside. So in university that is creating the managers of tomorrow has to let them be more conscious of the advantages that we have and of the challenges that the global world is providing us. So, which is an interesting challenge for a school like INSEAD. And you are doing very well this job.
Oh, thank you. Marco Tronchetti Provera, thank you very much for being with us on INSEAD Knowledge.
Thank you.